good portion of the cinematics there for Halo 2 Anniversary. Of course, big shout out to Blur. Those guys kicked absolute butt in reimagining the Halo universe. But yeah, I mean, it's been quite the day here of Halo 2 action, as we've had some great matchups, but I think this one definitely has taken the cake so far as match of the day thus far, because that lockdown Team Slayer game, I mean, there was a point in time where VwS was down, I think it was 17 to 9 or 18 to 9.
And also 17 to 29, I believe. It was nearly a 15-point lead. We had VwS down 17 to 29. And what I was saying was STK just needed to keep playing their game. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to do that. And that allowed VwS to kind of rally back with control. You saw legit anchoring the sniper rifle at the sniper tower while his team ran around and pretty much brought their team back into the match. They're only down by 2 kills. It became a 3-kill lead when STK was turtled down into the bottom of the blue base. But once STK was down there, I liked what I saw from VwS, right? You need to maintain your composure, take it 1 kill at a time. Yep. They were able to rack up the lead and then finish that match out clean. And you can bet that they're going to be riding the momentum. Taking a look at STK on your screen right now, looks like a very deflated team, very different from when we saw them after that first game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you're always thinking about the mistakes you made, but that's the thing. You have to look forward. You have to think beyond that. And you made mention of how STK played, or how VwS played that part, and yeah, it's very easy to be foolish and make a dumb play, right? And just blindly pushing in, giving up positioning on the map. VwS, and it's funny too, because they actually did send one guy down, and it did become a 4-point lead, right, while VwS, while STK was still turtling inside of the inside of the green.
Yeah, I think what STK could have done there, right there, potentially was push straight to underglass and get out of that area once they got that first kill, which might have made the match end a little bit differently, but instead the match went towards VwS as they continually forced the enemy team spawn at the bottom of that green tower, really exercising a lot of map knowledge and historical knowledge about how that map works, right? Lockout, one of a community favorite within the game of Halo, so I love what I saw from VwS as they were able to lock that down.
Yep, that's right. Waiting for the players to join up here and get everything going. But yeah, I guess looking forward to King of the Hill on Warlord. We got to talk about this because we saw this with the Agency Optic Gaming matchup. At the beginning of the game, it seemed like Optic Gaming they were playing great. They had control. Yep. They had 30 points on the board, and it seemed like everything was going right. And then somewhere along the line, it all fell apart, crumbled like a cookie. And Optic Gaming just could not get back into it. Agency were able to just continue to pile on points, and they were very aggressive in that. Kind of changing the approach too, focusing on more of a plat-heavy, holding approach. And I have to say, for both of these teams here, is that kind of, do they look at that and maybe take some notes? I mean, you have to at that point, the way that they dismantled Optic in that.
Yeah, I mean, the goal right there on that map is to essentially let the central hills go, right? I can't believe what we saw Hysteria do on the Agency, what he was able to do, stay alive for 25 seconds in the top hill against a team like Optic Gaming. That's almost unheard of, right? Typically, you let those hills go and you kind of even out, right? Maybe you each get a few seconds, and you wait till the side hills on the platforms when you can lock down the flag areas, those back areas where the flags are actually located in CTF. If you can lock down those areas, that'll let you control almost every sight line into that area and really act as if that's a base during the hill there. And that's what teams are looking to do. So I think what both teams want to do here is lock down map control, but I can't say how important enough it is to get ready for that next hill move, right? Even if you get the full time on a hill, you need to be ready to move for the next hill. Otherwise, the enemy team is just going to do the same. They're going to catch you off guard. They're going to lock down the central control points of the map, and you're not going to be able to rally back until the next hill, which is going to forfeit a lot of time.
Yep, that's right. It's definitely going to be a challenge here for for both teams to kind of get the feel of one another, right? See what the approach is going to be. So we just want to update you guys. We're going to get this one started in a bit. Really sorry about the the delays there, but we are constantly always looking to make sure that all the players are good to go and there's no issues whatsoever, because that's the experience we want to have here, not only for the players as well, but for the viewers. We don't want to have some issues and whatnot. So I guess looking forward here for either team, or I guess looking forward in the bracket, because coming up after this game right here, we have Straight Rippin' versus one of the EU's finest in TCM Gaming. how do you feel about both teams in that matchup? If we could kind of just touch base on that for a little bit.
Yeah, I think the straight TCM match is going to be really great. What I'm looking forward to seeing is if TCM can maintain that composure that we saw at Gamescom, right?
Yeah.
If they can come out and, you know, they were feared as a top team at Gamescom because, as you said, one of the best teams in Europe. Straight Rippin's certainly not going to be taking them lightly. Straight Rippin has a ton of top talent. Looking at that roster, Straight Sick, Ryanoob, Roy, and T-Squared, right? Players who have some players that are newer, right? With Straight Sick and Ryanoob, Roy, and T-Squared, Halo 2 legends. So, you know, you can bet that not only is TCM Gaming, you know, not taking them lightly, but I think Straight, on the other hand, with a little bit less teamwork, right? Excuse me, time playing together. So Straight's going to need to prove to us that they have the teamwork to take out a team like TCM that's been playing together for months.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But, you know, I mean, Roy's our boy. You know, I mean, you gotta talk about UMG Halo, Halo 4. When you know, it was Onyx Team Slayer, and Roy just, what was it like? He just
I don't remember the specific numbers.
I just remember yelling a lot. You know?
I remember Roy, a player who hadn't played a lot prior to that tournament, and just came.
I don't think he played at all prior to that tournament.
He came out and put on such a show, and I'm excited to see what he's able to do in Halo 2 Anniversary. Right, Halo 2 Anniversary, closer to home, of course, with his all the success that he had on Team 5K in Halo 2, and eventually Halo Reach with Team Instinct. So excited to see what he's able to do alongside T-Squared.
Yep, that's right. And you know, you mentioned T-Squared there, a name that's been very well known in competitive Halo for a very long time. He, again, just got to highlight this. Been watching his streams. It seems like they're in a clear understanding of one another. The confidence is there, the positivity is there, and that's going to be so crucial. But TCM, though, we make mention of this numerous times. They've played, you know, Halo 2 Anniversary in a tournament environment 2 times, which not a lot of teams, now 3. No team here can have that because no one competed at Gamescom from the United States, and they've proven, you know, time and time again that people they undersell them. Right, and it's unfortunate, you know, for that to be the case, because when I think about this squad, I immediately just put my attention on Chalky. But even to an extent, you know, you have 2 Foxy who had a great Gamescom as well. Ramirez, Riots, I mean, these guys, they show up, and no one's giving them the time of day. And I think that's really playing to their advantage, because now they're playing purely for themselves.
Oh, certainly. I mean, they have nothing to lose coming into this tournament. You know, I think a lot of people are quick to write them off because they haven't made a huge splash in the American and North American Halo scene. But I'm excited to see what they can bring. I don't think they've anything to lose. The only thing that could be fighting against them, I think, at this point, is the 16 hours of travel that it took them to get here.
That's true.
We'll see if they're acclimated. But these teams are, of course, fighting right here for this trophy that you see presented in front of the UNSC Warthog. Right there, a Sideshow collectible Launch Invitational Champions Trophy. Each team has their eye on not only this, but also the $20,000 check that comes with it.
That's right. A lot of money up for grabs here at the at the Launch Invitational, $50,000 in total. So really looking forward to what more we're going to have in this tournament. Teams that have moved on thus far, Agency made their way as they're going to be facing off against Believe the Hype. And in the losers bracket, we had an update before. Optic Gaming was up 1-0 against Purple Rain. So losers bracket happening on off-site, or not off-site, but actually, you know, on the side stage. Just got an update though that Optic Gaming did win their matchup against Purple Rain. So Purple Rain eliminated from the tournament. It was a 2-0 sweep there, which you know, I told Gandhi that was going to happen, but you know, he didn't care. That's the reason why I love the dude. So yeah, I guess, you know, with that being said, you know, again, we're really sorry about the delay. We're waiting for all the players to get into the lobby and get everything situated and ready to go. We thank you 110% for your patience. We were just informed that the game is about to begin. So again, guys, you are awesome back at home. You know, spam Whatface if you want.
You love that thing, huh?
No one will be mad at you guys if you spam Whatface.
He loves that face.
I love it. It's
taken out here. It's also taken off, and the entire Twitch community just loves it.
It has, actually. Ryanoob, who and actually Mikwin as well, like they play Dota and they frequent Dota streams, said that they saw the Whatface spam popping up a couple times. So actually add the chat over here on the side. So
here they come.
Here comes the Whatface.
I hope you're happy. No
one's gonna fault you guys if you want to do it. You know, just nothing but absolute love.
And, yep.
Oh man, that emote's been okay. So fun fact, that emote has been, you know, active for about a week and a half now. Actually, no, it's been active for, I would say about a week and a half. And it's already, last I checked, it was used 60,000 times.
You know what I love is that you guys have back-end stats at Twitch that track which emotes are being used. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and now I'm waiting for, but I haven't seen the updated numbers, and I'm guessing with the amount of people who's obviously know that this is the greatest emote on Twitch. It's going to replace Kappa. Hands down.
That's a bold statement.
It's a bold statement.
That's a very, very bold
statement, Cotton. All right, so with that being said, the matchup, the players are in the lobby by the Beard of Zeus. It seems like we're going to get this one going here in just a little bit. And the players getting ready to go, obviously fist bumps and bound as they know that the pressure is on. King of the Hill on Warlord. We've seen, we saw this in that Optic Gaming Agency matchup. Agency controlled the game, but I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit more down the middle here. So this one starting up as the map is loading up. Who do you want to kick it off with first, Bravo?
I'd love to see Legit right here. I think he played so well in that last match.
He did. He was the difference maker.
Yeah, making sure that his team was on par. I think his whole team actually rallied together to come back in that game. But I'm particularly interested to see if VwS is going to be able to rally back, win 2 straight, and send STK to the loser's bracket. I don't think we thought that was a possibility after game 1, but VwS has proven us all wrong as we're kicking off Warlord, King of the Hill. Of course, first to 300 points is going to win. To earn points, you need to stand within the hill and rack up time. We'll see which team is able to do that, and the game is now underway. As we're going to go ahead and jump into that, kicking things off with Legit of VwS, finding a player bottom middle, and right now both teams, the first goal, Golden Boy, is to get the control of the map. Then you can worry about getting time.
Warlord has proven to be so fun to watch and so intense for these players to be participating in. So looking forward here as Legit's actually going to be pushing up. A is going to be up for the picking as only 12 points have been put on the board, and that was from STK who got control. But now it seems as if A going over to VwS. They're getting some time in there, and that's important at the beginning here.
Yeah, I tell you what, Legit actually just used that little jump there from that shotgun platform, that short platform to top middle. That's a pretty quick shortcut that can save you a lot of time on the map. So we're already seeing in round 1 players using that new skill jump.
Yeah, and off the respawn, Legit able to find one. That BR so solid from him. And 10 seconds left on A as it's going to be making its way over to the base here for B.
Oh,
Legit.
Man. On the receiving end of the shotgun. Nice job there. I want to see what's up with STK. Let's switch over to Ogre 2. We'll see what he's doing on the plat right now. His team is up 17-6, but as we saw, early leads in King of the Hill don't mean much unless you can sustain it through the control of the map throughout the entire match now. So really both these teams trying to battle and get control so that B is really the first hill where you can start to rack up time. Boy.
Ogre 2 is going to get picked off there. That was actually going to be Naded who pushed up. Quite aggressive. Only 6 points on the board here, but still very early in this matchup. 35 seconds to pick, so every single second that you're holding the hill, that means that you're getting a point. And Ogre 2 up the respawn, not having good luck there yet again. Able to pick off 1 kill, but not quite able to stay alive. 2 down right now for VwS. 3 down right now for VwS, as Goofy is going to be the last man standing, pushing in with the camo. He's going to whiff on that melee, and he's going to get picked out.
Yeah, Ogre 2 right there, smelling Goofy coming up behind him. Make sure he cleans up that kill. We'll stay on board with Goofy to see if he can redeem himself. Right now, that was amazing awareness from Ogre 2. Now 34-7, VwS is down. STK off to a good start. If they can keep this up, they're going to build a lead that we saw similarly to the agency.
Yeah, well, VwS is going to be losing 2 guys here at this time, and they're getting them off the respawn, but Naded tried to stay up.
Amazing trade there with Ogre 2. A nice job there to make sure that he traded.
Needed
that. Go ahead and see what's going on with Hines on the STK side. Haven't seen a lot of him this series. Now 35-7. As I said, not much movement here as both teams are trying to feel each other out for this C hill. Neither team wants to overcommit and potentially, lose map control for 30 seconds. If you do so, you'll really see a deficit on the scoreboard. So both teams playing a little bit hesitant right now.
Yeah, which is actually a far cry from what we saw in game number 1, where Agency was just taking it to Optic, and then they started to slow down. But you know how it's going to happen here. It's going to be slow.
Needs to stay alive. They're surprised that he overextended himself right there because the hill was at C, but the hill will be moving very shortly. STK still maintaining control. I love what I'm seeing from them now as they do rack up their score to 44-7.
Yeah.
VwS yet to hit double digits, and we're 3 minutes into the match.
I was just going to say that, we know that it's kind of gotten a little slow here in the beginning, but it's going to get crazy toward that midpoint in the game if either team is not careful. Now D is going to be right for the pick, and here is Ogre 2 is going to be pushing forward.
Ogre 2 seems to get spooked near the portals.
He's always expecting someone around the corner there, and because it's happened quite a bit in this this tournament. But in any case, no Ogre 2 finding some nades over on the left side.
Look, I love what he's doing right now, right? Does not need to challenge that angle. Instead, he forces naded towards him right there.
Whoa.
Almost cleans up that kill, but regardless, gets a lot of time on the clock for his team. Let's go ahead and see what Legit is up to on the VwS side, switching back over to the other side of the stage now. 58-11. Finally, VwS racking up some time.
Yeah, and one thing I got to point out is Legit's use of the portals here, man. I mean, you know, he had a long-range position before, managed to slip through the portal, came up right behind the D hill. So that's, you know, again, just a credit to him. You know,
he might try to camo jump right here. What he's going to do, he's going to grab the shotgun on the way. Now get the quick camo. Love that play right there. As he saw that earlier, he had his eyes set on it. But nice job there, I got to say, from STK to neutralize that threat. They did not want Legit getting away with camo. As you said, Legit a major threat around the portals, and I can't even imagine with camo how much he'd be able to sneak around the map. Now 66-26 is the score.
Yeah. Oh man, that is unfortunate.
That's 4 dead for VwS, Alex.
Yes, 4 dead presently. As we're going to just jump over to STK because they have full control of this game, 79-26.
And they're going to come flying out of this base right now. They're likely all going to be spawning around blue, potentially getting split spawns at red and blue. But STK is poised to maintain this map control through the rest of the match.
Yeah, I mean they're not doing anything wrong here. You know, they've lost control maybe 1 or 2 times, but it's really just
look at Ogre 2 just waltzes into the base, takes out naded, not even anyone else challenging, really making a statement there as he just pulls through the portal. Now they're up 90-32 as STK is going to maintain control. Amazing objective play from them.
Yeah, Royal 2 just going to continue to hold this one down, knowing that he has teammates there to cover his back. Going back over to A here as World 2 on the push as he finds Mikwen. 2 players, as a matter of fact, VwS putting in 2 shots apiece for both of them, so they know that they're not in the best positions here. Shield pop from Mikwen, as that's going to be unfortunate for him. But
Ooh, somehow did not get that trade right there. It looks like somehow he stays alive, but
Heinz has camo, by the way.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at Heinz now. 106-32. Heinz has his second chance with camo. Earlier he got taken out. We'll see if he can instead use this to make sure his team maintains that lead and potentially even builds upon it now. 107-33. He's going to want to get up top here. We'll see if he actually tries to move up on this platform right there at much better vantage point, and he can do things like that.
Just continue to cause problems here for VwS. This could be a
triple
kill for Heinz as he just shows up big time here, and he's going to get the extermination. What a play out of Heinz here. That is what you want to see. STK coming out strong, 130-33.
And I think right there, Heinz did exactly what we were all expecting him to do with that camo. He had redemption, gets the extermination. For those of you at home, that is killing all 4 of the enemy players, not necessarily within 4 seconds of each other. That would be your overkill, but getting those 4 kills means he eliminated each player 1 by 1. Now they're up 130-35, and as I said, what he did was build upon that lead with his team. Amazing slaying from Heinz.
Yeah, and B, though, will be in the control of VwS, which they need every single point that they could possibly get. Snakebite and Royal 2 are engaging presently, as we'll actually jump over to Naded and VwS, because they have to fight back. Now, that was going to be a shot for them. It seems like camo was picked up,
that went to Royal 2. He died, so he burned that camo. Naded made sure he took him out. So VwS right now wants to try to get some time on the clock. Mikwen doing a really nice job in the hill, actually racking up right here what looks like 20 seconds over the past few.
Yeah, that's right. 130-56 as VwS struggling here to be able to maintain control. C is going to be coming up here in just a second.
Oh, great nade there.
Yeah,
you gotta love that classic Warlock nade right there, knowing that he can bounce that off the platform to hit the portal if anyone is hanging out around there, which we've seen a lot of players liking to do. It allows you to really be versatile in the angles that you challenge from right there. Now 130-73 as they start to bring this match back.
Yeah, and this is something that happened in that Team Slayer game, and I mean, granted, it's a different game type, objective-based, but still, it's there where you have to ask yourself, you know, STK having a hard time closing areas in that lockdown matchup. I don't know if that's going to necessarily happen here, but it definitely is something that you got to point out because I mean, you know, they've been able to come back. This team was held at one point under, you know, they were not able to get into double digits. They were held under 10 points.
That's right.
And now it seems like they're getting competitive with them, right? 130 to 83.
Yep, we'll see
they
if
can
Heinz
hold this out for a little bit and be able to come back.
Camo round 3. We'll see if he can do just as much damage here. He's going to keep the enemy team at bay. Walks into the hill for just a second. He'll likely drop if he gets challenged, though, as his hill now is going to move to D in just a moment. Going to rack up some time here. Nice job. It's going to be difficult for the enemy to find him. Right now, he just wants to stay alive. Surprisingly, he tries to stick it the other side, but I love the spot he's in right now. He can't be challenged from too many angles, and they continue to increase their lead.
Yep, and having that camo in there is going to throw everyone for a loop because they know that he's like, well, where is he? Where is he located?
He's there,
yeah.
but
yeah, exactly.
But
But. So now Naden pushing up. Hines going to be able to secure that one, and the pressure come from behind as Hines will get taken out. So. Yeah,
I gotta
STK
say, Hines definitely
down.
got redemption on the first camo run. He has certainly made up for that as his team is now at a dominating lead. We'll go ahead and see what VwS is up to. Perhaps jump on board with Naden, who's just jumped through the portal, now challenging, gets that comeback kill. That means that he was killed 3 times before that without picking up a kill, so he's back in the match. And we'll see if VwS, now Goofy getting challenged from multiple angles, tries to stay alive, wins that battle though, and excuse me, now wins the battle against Ogre 2. Looks like that shot did not connect, so now 162 to 85. And it looks like we're seeing more of the same though, Golden Boy. VwS started to rally back, but once again, STK making sure that that lead is strong enough to keep VwS at bay.
Well, and that was the worry that I had for STK, right? Because we saw that in the lockdown game where, you know, VwS was able to come back midway through, and STK just did not expect that to happen. I'm like, well, are STK having trouble like closing out here? Because that could be a big problem, especially for a team that many believe could make it to the finals. But for VwS though, they can't allow STK to get the garbage time, which, you know, like those like 2 to 3 seconds, or excuse me, the 2 to 5 second time there. That time is frustrating, right? Because that's when you can kind of play with that mathematically impossible territory. And that is something that VwS has to be cautious about.
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to Ogre 2 right now as 168 to 108. Still, of course, possible for them to get back in this match. Now, Ogre 2 will be back in just a minute. We'll see what he does off the respawn.
Yep, Ogre 2 here, you know, one of the greatest Halo players of all time back here at the Launch Invitational. They do have control of E, but they're not going to get the time that's needed. But they are going to just be able to walk right into A, unopposed. That's just been something that's been happening all throughout this matchup here. VwS has been struggling with that double kill for Ogre 2, as he was able to take out 2 guys with relative ease here. 172 to 112, finding another player as well. He's chasing after the kill here. He might be able to get this, but it doesn't really matter all that much because it's all about the pressure, and STK's been absolutely succeeding in that category.
Yeah, that hill is back up on top middle. Ogre 2 doing such a good job. I think he's been alive for about a minute and a half now, just constantly turning his head and doing things like that, just cleaning up the kills. The STK team is laying such a solid foundation for Ogre 2 to thrive right now as he's just cleaning up his kills, turning his head every direction, portaling through and staying alive. He might be on 2 minutes now of being alive. Amazing stuff there from Ogre 2, and might stay alive here as well. Finally gets taken down. We'll go ahead and switch over to the VwS side, see if they can get on board. Let's go over to Mikwin, who actually was just taken out. And excuse me, all 4 members of VwS down once again as this hill now has moved. We'll go to Royal 2, who's now racking up some new time for STK.
But I do got to point out, though, that VwS were able to close the gap quite a bit with that A hill. Yep. So if VwS can manage to get these plats, right, just get this kind of control, that could potentially, you know, get them back in this game. They have a lot of time to work with. 3 minutes and 42 seconds left on the clock. B is going to be open here, and Ogre 2 having to deal with it. He managed to stay alive. My goodness.
And Royal 2 actually getting that squatter medal for hanging out in that hill a little bit too long and squatting there, and potentially getting yelled at right there for doing too well for his team, as they're now up 198 to 133. STK still with amazing map control right here. Now finding Goofy, able to take out that kill, and now right now they're just making sure they maintain map control and slaying power.
Yep, that's right, and the Invis camo is going to be up. World 2 gets that one, and B will not have anyone on it presently. He's only going to be about 7 seconds. That's that garbage time I was talking about the STK was getting, because, you know, Warlord's a small map, so you'll be able to get, you know, around the map in no time. And this, I like this play with
World
the shotgun in the pocket.
Use this jump up right here. He's going to pop up right here and get this kill right now on Mikwin. Easy kill. Ouch. He's going to try to stay alive, but there's a player in the vent, so that's going to be tough. But Royal 2 somehow staying alive, still staying alive, and doing what we call strong siding away, that trademark move, putting your head down so it's a bit more difficult to get that final headshot from an enemy player who might be standing behind you. But nice stuff from Royal 2. Let's go ahead back over to VwS, see if they have what it takes to get back into this match. 2:33 left on the clock, still possible.
Yep, that's right. I mean, you know, you have to think they're only going to be down presently by about 51 seconds here, actually 50 seconds to be exact. And with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left on the clock, this is doable. They will be able to cut into this lead that STK has been able to establish quite a bit if they keep getting the body on C, which they have been doing successfully. Now Naden actually drifting around here, and if he continues to put shots in and be a nuisance, his teammates will be able to clean them up. But with that garbage time left there, STK is going to get that, and now it's going to be moving over to D, and STK gets control yet again.
And unfortunately for Naden there, his team was not able to keep that composure around the hill. He gets taken out, so that's not going to be good for VwS, as STK is able to break that setup, and they're going to rack up even more time.
Yep, and VwS is Nated, who has it's what is it, 219 to 170 hill offense. Their Royal 2 is actually able to take out Migwin. Let's see what VwS is going to do here. The pressure's on.
Yeah, I got to say, Golden Boy, look how important the portals are in almost every game type, right? Because they do have across the map, right? They can send you at such different angles. We're seeing so many top players use those and use them so well. Unfortunately, Nated not able to put them to great use there. But now 219 to 171 as they stay in this match now, and legit trying to push in, pick up this kill, gets that one hill offense, tries to find another player, but gets taken out. STK doing such a good job of making sure VwS isn't able to rack up any solid time just yet.
Yeah, 230, as a matter of fact, to 172. And again, it's still very doable here for VwS. I mean, they're only down by about 50 or so points. 1 minute remaining, though. They need every single minute, every single second, excuse me. And I don't know if that's going to be the case. As a matter of fact, cycling through everyone from VwS, no, that is not going to be the case. They're going to continue to rack up time. It's mathematically impossible. VwS is going to the losers bracket. STK moving on to the next round to face the winner of Straight Rippin' and TCM Gaming.
I'm taking a look at the STK booth right now. They just realized that the time has run out for the enemy team to catch up, and they had a celebration. They are pretty excited to be moving on here. You know, as we said, one of the players you'll see the players start to no longer move, as we said. That's mathematically impossible. So both teams are actually right now mentally just getting ready for their next match, knowing what they need to do. STK heading to the winners bracket, and on the other side, VwS getting ready for their losers bracket road, which will not be easy.
No, not at all, because you're going to be dealing with either Straight Rippin' or TCM Gaming, who is going to be very, very hungry for a win. On the other side, though, VwS, I'm not counting them out by any means whatsoever. We knew that these matches were going to be tough. We knew that this was anyone's ball game here coming into the Halo Master Chief Collection Launch Invitational. VwS, though, still in high spirits, which is what you want to see for a team. Yeah,
it's true. I mean, to have players talking about the last match, right, ready for their next match in losers bracket, that's key. If a team starts to get down on themselves, that will likely be the end of the road for them. So VwS, I don't expect that that's the last of them. STK will be moving on in the winners bracket. If we could take a look at the stats right here, Hines going 22 and 23, but look at Royal 2, 44 and 18. Amazing stuff from him. Amazing assists. Look at the assists from the STK side compared to the assists on the VwS side. Players like Migwin only hitting 9, legit only hitting 10. On the other side, we have 22 and 20 from Hines and Snakebite. Amazing stuff there on the board, so really nice performance from them. But I got to say, I saw a few big numbers in the kills department from VwS. However, they just weren't able to get to the objective. So once again, when you're playing an objective game type, that needs to be the main focus.
Yeah, that's very true. But of course, guys, now we're going to have a great matchup coming up next. TCM Gaming facing off against Straight Rippin'. Guys, this is going to be one that you do not want to miss by any means whatsoever. The return of T-Squared, facing off against what could be, the team that many people are sleeping on here. Yep. Looking forward to seeing Chalky back on the sticks yet again. It's going to be a good one. Don't go anywhere. This is the Halo Halo the Master Chief Collection Launch Invitational. We have an interview, as a matter of fact, coming up in just a bit, so we'll dive into that when that is ready. Clutch, of course, getting that guy ready to go. I don't know who that's going to be, but Bravo, I guess before we throw out the Clutch for this interview, any thoughts going into the Straight Rippin' TCM matchup, players to watch in specific?
I mean, of course, the big one to watch right there is going to be T-Squared, right? We want to know what he's able to do. He's back in the game. He's brought with him some top talent, right? So on the straight side, that's who I'm looking at. Second player I'm watching is Roy. I want to see if he's just as consistent as always, and I expect that he will be. On the TCM side, I think we're all looking at Chalky. We'll see if he can go on fire with the sniper rifle once again.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm really, really excited for that one, of course. And do not go anywhere, because it's going to be a great game. So with that said, we have Clutch on the floor with Hines. Clutch, what's going on, buddy?
Thank you, gentlemen. Hines was celebrating in the player pod for a little bit, but now he's joining me. Hines, you're excited, obviously. A fantastic win up against a team that maybe was a little underestimated, a couple of these teams coming in. But let's talk about map number 1 first. A lot of flag denies. How was your team able to organize who is going when to get those flags back?
Just constant communication. You got to know, like, okay, he's running the flag. Well, where is he running it? Because someone on the spawn's going to look there. I throw a grenade, get a kill. Maybe the other guy's running behind him, get a double kill. Our communication was really great because we obviously haven't played this game before. It was more important to focus on that.
Now, we had talked earlier before. You said your team was lacking discipline when it came to lockdown. We saw that happen. What went wrong for you guys?
Well, we were playing great. Unfortunately, we got that blue spawn, and since we haven't played the game before, it's hard to realize what's the best option to do when you're sitting in that blue room. I'm sure people saw all four of us looking at each other. We knew we were screwed, but we didn't give up. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that game, but we got the win.
Yeah, you turn it around for King of the Hill at the end. What was it? Did you have a little pep talk with your team or anything after game number 2 in order to turn it around?
Well, I mean, we just talk, like, whenever we lose a game, just forget it. You know, next game is what matters most. We knew on Warlock we played really well, a map we knew better than Lockdown. And we stayed disciplined, and we just knew if we played true to our game on a map like Warlock, we're never going to lose.
Definitely saw you sticking to your strengths in map number 1 and map number 3. You've also been scrimmaging with the agency as preparation for this tournament. Do you feel the benefits now, the fruits of that labor today with a win?
Yeah, because when you play a great team like the agency, even if it's on a game like Halo 2 Vista, it keeps your communication and your focus sharp. Because, you know, some guys may just play like MLG players on Halo 3 and just lackadaisical. But we were focused, made sure we tried our butts off every time we scrimmed. Looks like it paid off so far.
So far, well, good luck in the rest of the tournament. The next series is going to be Straight Rippin' versus TCM. You're watching the Halo Master Chief Collection Launch Invitational presented by ESL. Stay tuned.